All right, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of big news to go through. We'll do the preview for the Salzburg game tomorrow, early morning UK time. But right now, we need to talk about the interview Todd Boehly did, opened up about Thomas Tuchel. Very important to talk about that. I think it gives us a bit of closure as well. And kudos to him for being so open and transparent about it. And we will also talk about director of football. Something's moving quick.
All right. Here we go again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get straight into this. First up, ladies and gentlemen, Todd Boehly has offered Luis Campos 8 million euros a year to join Chelsea, with 260 million to invest over the next 2 windows into rethinking the first team, according to La Parisienne. I mean, there's talks about Christoph Freund as well. We'll get to that. And some publications, some journalists are actually saying maybe both Campos and Christopher Freund. I don't know whether you need all of these cooks in the kitchen. Sometimes it's not great to have all these chefs in the kitchen, and because it could get a bit crazy. But if that's where we want to go, apparently Christopher Freund is going to be director of football, and Luis Campos is going to come as an advisor. But I feel like, is there a need to have an advisor and director of football? Like, just let the director of football do his thing. But apparently this is what's going down. But this, ladies and gentlemen, 8 million a year to join Chelsea with 260 million to invest. That's a lot of money, man. 8 million, Luis Campos. And I don't know how long he's going to be sticking around. Maybe a year, maybe a couple of years. I don't know. This, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive interview with Todd Boehly about Chelsea by Salt Conference. I think that's what they're known as. Salt is a knowledge and networking platform focused on finance, tech, and public. Let's have a look at this. We're not expecting to be the football experts to find the best talent. We're going to put these people in place. I'm hoping this works. It's the first time I'm actually sharing a video that hopefully will transmit the sound. Forgive me if the sound's not coming up, but let's play this.
Yeah, we're not expecting to be, the football experts to find the best talent. We're going to put those people in place. And I think it's no different than running any human capital business, where it's all about getting the right resources, making them collaborate, getting them organized, thinking about, how you have, a global business at a local level. So, I think we're going to be continuously adding resources. I think we've been talked about having a multi-club model. I would love to, continue to build out the footprint. I think that, there's different countries where there's advantages to having a club. Red Bull does a really good job. They've got Leipzig and they've got Salzburg, and both of which are playing in Champions League. So, they've figured out how to make that work. You have Man City, which has a very big network of clubs. Because I think the challenge that Chelsea has right now, one of them, is that, when you have 18, 19, 20-year-old superstars, you can loan them out to other clubs, but you put their development in someone else's hands, right? So I think that, our goal is to make sure we can show pathways for our young superstars to get onto the Chelsea pitch while getting them real game time. And to me, the way to do that is through, another club somewhere in a really competitive league in Europe.
Sorry, no, this is brilliant. Honestly, like multi-dimensional, that layer, to have that, much like, Red Bull Leipzig and Salzburg. And you can see the collaboration between Salzburg and Red Bull Leipzig. Like, a lot of their players have gone to Red Bull Leipzig from Salzburg. So something like that would be fantastic. And I think he talks about the multi-dimensional layers also, that includes our academy, our first team, and the women's team as well. And obviously City, the way they've developed over the years. They've literally got clubs everywhere. Like Man City have got a club here in Australia, Melbourne City. I think they've got a club in America as well, and all over. So he's right in the sense that if we want to send our youngsters out on loan, it's better to send them out on loan to these sort of teams that are still within your group, your multi-dimensional group. And that way you will be very, very conscious about their growth, their development. And as Todd Boehly said, you don't then rely on someone else to develop your player. And who knows if they will develop your player. So that's very, very interesting. There's another clip. Hopefully I can find it later on where he talks about Thomas Tuchel. But further goes on to say, Todd Boehly talks about the Chelsea app is currently way behind the Dodgers MLB app. Wow, so he's going to fix the Fifth Stand app. Why not? Todd Boehly's other ideas: tournament for the bottom 4 teams, North versus South All-Star game for the Premier League teams to fund revenue for the football pyramid. I don't mind this one bit. North side versus the South side in UK. Why not? The best out of all the players in the South, the best out of all the players in North, come for an exhibition match, raise some revenue for the football pyramid. I would definitely watch that. There would be a watch along for that. Tournament for the top bottom 4 teams. I'm not sure how that's going to go down. Like, I suppose, what's that, like tournament to see who survives? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, the ladder should dictate that. So I'm not really certain about that. Todd Boehly, we've got the best women's team in the world. We've got one of the best academies in the world. Our academy is, someone should have corrected. Mo Salah, De Bruyne. They're not from our academy, but yeah, I get what you mean. Tammy Abraham, Reece James, Mason Mount, Chalobah. Further goes on to say, Todd Boehly says that they think Portugal is the perfect place to put Chelsea's 18, 19 and 20-year-olds. He does have good connection with Portugal, doesn't he, Todd Boehly? He seems to be quite connected with Jorge Mendes, who's linked with a lot of Portuguese players. He loves the Sporting manager. Sporting just beat Tottenham as well in the Champions League. Apparently absolutely demolished them. So watch this pace. Is Todd Boehly thinking about getting a club in Portugal? And maybe we can start seeing Chelsea players going to Portugal for development, like the youngsters, of course. Boehly on sacking Tuchel. Tuchel is extremely talented and had great success. Our vision for the club was finding a manager that wanted to collaborate with us. We weren't sure Thomas saw our vision the same way we saw it, and we didn't have the shared vision. There's a clip for this, but it's pretty much, this is what the clip said anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Tuchel is extremely talented and had great success. Our vision for the club was finding a manager that wanted to collaborate with us. We weren't sure Thomas saw our vision the same way we saw it. We didn't have a shared vision. Further goes on to say, no one is right or wrong. We didn't have the shared vision for the future. Look, this is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Brings good closure. At the end of the day, the owners wanted to be a bit more involved, and rightly so. They've just come in, I suppose. They wanted to know from what the clip said. Let me see if I can find that clip. Boehly, I think Jesse Hour. I think they might have that clip. What he was saying is that he wanted to get a lot more data. He wanted to get a lot more information from Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel simply wasn't there to provide all of that. So, look, it is what it is, and at the end of the day, they will do what feels correct, what feels comfortable, and it should be like that. It should be like that. Check this out as well from Liam Toomey, what he said about Thomas.
Player meetings, one for beyond the point of no return, one of which was during pre-season he had 2 separate player meetings, one for players that were happy to stay and fight for the club, and one for players who were either uncertain about their futures or who wanted to leave.
Wow.
So that immediately divides the dressing room. But then you get to the opening weekend against Everton, and some of the players who'd wanted to leave are in the squad, and some of the players who'd wanted to stay are not.
Yeah.
And so, you know, one person we were talking to described that from beyond the point of.
Yeah, obviously that is an issue when you have groups with one group that's looking to leave, one group that's staying, and to have different meetings. I mean, was it required? Was it needed? Maybe he thought those players were going to move on. What's the point of having him in the meeting? But at the same time, until they leave, you got to still include them. That's probably not the right way to go about. Thomas Tuchel, let's listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
The football, yeah, we're not expecting to be, the football experts to find the best talent. We're going to put those people in place. And I think it's no different than running any human capital business, where it's all about getting the right resources, making them collaborate, getting them organized, thinking about, how you have, a global business at a local level. So, I think we're going to be continuously adding resources. I think we've been talked about having a multi-club model. I would love to, continue to build out the footprint. I think that, there's different countries where there's.
I'm looking for that clip where he talks about. Is this the clip? No. Looking for the clip where he actually talks about why. See if I can find that. Chairman Todd offers a fascinating glimpse into his global vision. English Premier League, yeah. Football experts, yeah, I saw that. Where's that clip, man? Someone had that clip. Offers fascinating glimpse. Here we go.
With the people who, when you take over any business, you just have to make sure that you're aligned with the people who are operating the business. And I think Tuchel is obviously extremely talented and someone who had great success at Chelsea. Our vision for the club was finding a manager who really wanted to collaborate with us, a coach who really wanted to collaborate. I think there's a lot of walls to break down at Chelsea. And, before the first team, for example, in the academy, didn't really share data. They didn't share information about, where the top players were coming from. So our goal is to really bring, a team together that, with the academy, with the first team, with the incremental clubs that we want to acquire and develop, all of that needs to be, a well-oiled machine. And the reality of our decision was that we just weren't sure that Thomas saw it the same way we saw it. And no one's right or wrong. It's just we didn't have a shared vision for the future. And it wasn't about Zagreb. It was really about, the shared vision for what we wanted to Chelsea Football Club to look like. And, it wasn't a decision that was made, as a result of a single win or loss. It was a decision that was made really about what we thought was the right vision for the club.
There you go. Honestly, that gives me good closure. At the end of the day, as he said, no one's right, no one's wrong, and the owners had a vision which simply didn't, align with Thomas Tuchel. He wants more data to be flowing through from the academy, from the first team, and all the other clubs that they're thinking about acquiring down the track, and having them set up as that multi-dimensional setup where Chelsea can collaborate with other clubs and share players and whatnot, much like, as we said, the Red Bull Leipzig and Red Bull Salzburg model, Man City model as well, all the different teams that they have. They're doing what they think is the right thing to do, and they want a manager that is able to understand their vision and align and collaborate with them in the same line. And Tuchel just wasn't that person. So look, it is what it is. We move on. We got and as Todd Boehly said, it wasn't even about the results. And I knew it wasn't about the results. Okay, Todd. We think that Chelsea is probably the biggest sports brand you can own worldwide. It's true. It is a big brand. Worldwide, there's a lot of fans, man. In Asia, there's a ton. It's beyond passion. It's borderline religion. 100% right. Chelsea are in advanced talks with Salzburg. So that's a little bit about Todd Boehly and how he felt about Thomas Tuchel and what his plans are with Chelsea Football Club. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, how you feel about that. I'm excited, man, what his vision is, and if he can execute them, fantastic. Chelsea are in advanced talks with Salzburg Sporting director Christoph Freund. We're going to talk about the director of football position now. Lots going on here, and this brother seems like getting closer to getting this position. I'm okay with this. I'm absolutely okay with this. He's got a good track record. Christoph Freund is is on Chelsea's list for sporting director. Sources in Austria believe a big offer from Chelsea could prove to be too tempting. Freund turned down Ajax in the past. The possibility of a sporting director and a technical director has been floated from Matt Law. There's an awareness, however, that Chelsea may need someone to work across all departments at Cobham, including negotiating transfers and contracts, rather than a data specialist. Michael Emenelo is one who is out of work and available. Maybe that could be a chance, but I don't know if Todd Boehly is going to move towards someone who was an ex-Chelsea employee. Michael Edwards has decided against taking a role at Chelsea. This is someone, as we've said, Todd Boehly badly wants Michael Edwards, and it could still be a possibility, but maybe not now, maybe down the track. Once Edwards has a proper break, he wants to take a year off. Chelsea are in talks with Christoph Freund for the sporting director role and could also bring in Luis Campos, but in an advisory role. See, that's the thing. I don't understand why they would need two of them. But maybe because of how many different layers that we have. We've got the academy, we've got the women's team, the first team, and we'll have all these other, as Todd Boehly said, the multi-dimensional sort of other clubs, the other layers, maybe like the Red Bull style or maybe the City style. And maybe there is a requirement to get Luis Campos and Christoph Freund. But for me, that seems like too many people, too many chefs in the kitchen, but we'll see. Ben Jacobs with his classic threads. Won't go through everything, but we'll touch on a few matters over here. More on Chelsea's advanced talks with Salzburg's Christoph Freund, as first revealed earlier. Apparently, this is close, the Christoph Freund situation. Todd Boehly, very impressed by Red Bull model and keen on affiliating Chelsea to feeder clubs. Conversations started with Freund during early August when inquiring about Benjamin Sesko. There you go. We did inquire about him. Freund is extremely data-driven, which is of particular appeal. New owners, surprised by the lack of data they inherited and feel there is no clear structure as to how it is used. That's mad. And as you saw, Boehly in that interview said, there wasn't enough data from academy to the first team, women's team. I don't know how Chelsea was run previously, honestly. Although Freund is not the only candidate, he's currently the clear front runner and very open to the role. He's also close to Paul Mitchell, who might yet consider a technical director role under him should Chelsea move in that direction. Look, there's a whole heap of other stuff that's going on here. But it seems like Salzburg are fully aware of the approach to Freund, and Graham Potter is expected to talk to him over the coming days. Told 3 candidates have active applications, but Freund is the current priority. There you go. These are some of the players that Christoph Freund was able to bring in under his watch at Red Bull Salzburg. Szoboszlai, Haaland, Upamecano, Hwan Hee-chan, Naby Keita, Benjamin Sesko, Brendan Aronson, Minamino, Patson Daka. Like, there's a lot of good players there. So he's done well. Adame is the other one, and many, many more. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about everything that we've talked about in this segment of Chelsea News Blitz. Thomas Tuchel, the talk from Todd Boehly. Do you finally get some closure? Do you understand now, I suppose, as well? I understand. Comment below. And also, Christoph Freund, how do you feel about him as the director of football? Do we also need Luis Campos? Please let me know in the comment section below. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.